Moving on, we have another power-packed keynote presentation for our respected participants, brilliantly themed as revolutionizing government services experience through XR technology by Mr. Waleed Ali, Public Sector Innovation Digital Government Specialist at Ministry of Communications and Information Technology, Qatar. The stage is all yours for your keynote, Waleed.
Thank you so much, Bridget, and thank you very much for the invitation. I'm really delighted to be here with you today, especially that this topic I'm gonna talk about is very interesting to me. I will just share my screen. Please do confirm that you can see my presentation and hear me well.
Yes, I can see your presentation and hear you well.
Right, thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. My name is Waleed Ali. I'm from the Ministry of Communication and Information Technology. I'm a public sector innovation and digital government specialist at MCIT Qatar. Today, I would like to take you with me in this journey about revolutionizing the government services experience through the XR technology. So what is XR? I think my colleague, Dr. Sana, in the previous panel, she did a very well explaining, and she gave us very good understanding about what is the XR or extended reality. So without repeating that, we'll just highlight why XR. So why XR, as we already know by now, it's a big thing in tech, or next big thing in tech, because now digital services is reached to a level that even in government, we are right now building our digital government strategy around user-centric and human also experience and user experience, and that is now reaching to a level that the most natural way to continue this is to use technology that dealing with human senses, like XR technology. Excuse me. So this technology already made its way to our smartphone. So if you are using iPhone 12 or higher, that you have this small black sensor at the back next to the cameras. This is called LiDAR sensor. So this is helping you to build a very realistic augmented reality scenes. So it's already there. If you are using Snapchat filters, if you are using this IKEA application, if you are using this kind of application, make you try sunglasses before you buy it. So you already tried and you already used this augmented reality application, and hopefully that you are ready for the next or the future experience. So it's anticipated that augmented reality market will reach to $26 billion by 2025, and the smart glasses sale will expect to be worth to $33 billion by 2027. So this gives us indication that user experience or users will be expecting use this technology in everyday life, in everyday use, and in things that they are doing every day. So the technology is not new. It's just a couple of pictures for the development of this kind of glasses. And we would like also to see XR technology and the future of government. So what will XR technology bring for future government? So it will bring a new customer experience, and this kind of technology, when it will become used in our everyday life, at that time, by 2025, 2027, I think people or users will be using the government services. We call them digital by default generation because they're already born and grow up using technologies like nowadays, kids using tablets and AR and VR in schools. So by the time they're adults and they're using this kind of government services, government digital services, they will be what we call it now digital by default generation. And it will bring also citizen engagement. So citizens will be engaged in a future government or planned government project. They will have a sneak peek about what the government is trying to do. And they will also have opportunity to give their feedback and maybe enhancement. They think that it will make this project more valuable. Also, efficiency and engaging workforce training delivery, and will help government to battle future pandemics, because of course we all know that when COVID hit, first responders and doctors in hospitals were also putting their life in risk in order to work in the field. So this technology will bring health care to evaluate healthcare providers, and doctors can be actually working from their home. There's no need to be in a hospital to put their life in danger. Also, public safety emergency services, of course, the same thing. Public health through this kind of wearable glasses or application, government can actually encourage people to walk, building in the metaverse, building a walking track or digital avatars to encourage people to do more walking or running. This will actually reflect in people getting healthier and less people going to the hospitals, so less cost on the public sector, public health sector. Transportation and urban mobility, we will see an example of that later. And also, it will bring a new experience when countries or government try to promote the culture, heritage, and tourism in the country in a new ways that was not accessible before. So now, I think it's very clear as a government here in Qatar, and I think my colleague, Ms. Duha Buhindi, she was also presenting today, and she was highlighting that we are interested to work with startups, entrepreneurs, and we are interested in building partnerships with companies already from the public sector already working in this XR technology. So in Qatar, there is a huge interest in innovation. Innovation is one of the pillars that we are building our digital government on. So after this interest, how we transform this interest from interest in the technology, how we transform it into workable plans, and how we put XR technologies in government services roadmap. So basically, first thing, we have to identify a use case, that a real world problem or a use case that we are having in our priority, or any issue we would like to tackle or would like to address using this technology. After that, we of course need to have the infrastructure ready, or we need to build the infrastructure as it's needed for this kind of technology to be publicly used by the citizen or by the visitor of the country. So then it depends that if we would like to build systems or we would like to modernize our system to interact or to integrate with this kind of new technology or new customer experience through XR when citizen using the government services. Starting from now is to give a very big interest or very big portion of the effort in policy writing and regulation laws, because once we have this in our services, it's anticipated that people will have some kind of issues, but this will be solved through the policies, regulations, and also kind of intellectual property rights need to be looked at. Capacity building, because we are dealing with new skills and we need more training, and we need to build teams that they have expertise in the XR technology. For example, in the future, we might see something like a game designer needed to be hired in one of the government entities. So this is something that it will be very normal in the future, because we will need more of game designers, designers or storytellers, because we are building this immersive kind of experience integrated into our services. So it will be normal in the future to see new job titles and new positions coming in the future to work for the government entities. Also, we need people to work into have user-centric designs, because you need the service to be attraction or attracted more people to use your services. So you need to have the services designed in a way that people will actually want to use it. And also, lastly, is partnerships, because government entities is one of the key stakeholder in the innovation ecosystem. So building partnerships with other stakeholders like private sector, academia, and entrepreneurs also very important, because this kind of having a sustainable innovation ecosystem working on this kind of technologies for the public sector is very important, because government cannot work in silos and get the result as if it's the whole ecosystem is working towards having this kind of new technology used by the government. So just a few examples to highlight how this XR technology will revolutionizing the government services. So digital government services will become like interaction. Instead of filling applications using your smartphone or keyboard and writing the details, data will be actually fetched from the data lakes or data sources in the government entities. And the interaction will be based on, for example, air gestures, where you accept or select next service or browse wearing your headset. And it will be, the service will be like a story, and then you just have to interact using your air gestures or interact using voice. And then you are just browsing, or you are just moving from level to level. So this will become a very immersive and very interesting experience to have dealing with government services online. And it will be like playing a game actually, or trying to move from a step to another in order to receive this kind of services. So it will have a new way interacting with digital government services based on human senses. Also, citizen engagement, we talked about this. For example, citizen will have look how future project that government plan to work on, how it will look like. For example, if the government is building a highway, so citizen will see that on the virtual reality, or will see that using XR technologies, and they can actually have give their feedback, and they will see how, for example, this new highway effectively have the traffic light problem or traffic problems solved. So this will have will evolve the citizen engagement in the government plans for future projects. Digital twins, it's very important that we touch on digital twins when we talk about the XR technology. So digital twins actually will allow all the government, the whole government, to work on a version or a digital version of the city. So for example, using this digital twin, you can maintain, see how the maintenance of the city assets, how you can, for example, have it in less costly way or in less time. And for example, you can interact with live data in case of rainfall. So you want to make sure that the drainage system will absorb the rainfall, the high rainfall percentage. So interact with live data, and this digital twin will also enhance and make government services to the public, especially in urban and modern cities, actually will evolve into a high level. And also running simulation on this digital twin for real case or real life scenarios. Running simulations can make sure that the government is taking a data-driven decision-making approach, because interact with this data and running the simulation will make sure that the government is taking the best decision the interest of the public. Training is, of course, main area when we talk about XR and government services. So training is, for the example, when more than one government entity is working on a project or working on providing a service. For example, the firefighters and people who are working as in health service providing, for example. So paramedic and firefighters, if they are collaborating on a mission, this can be done through collaborative efforts for the training, and also beyond the training, AR heads, head up this, like the goggles or the glasses or the headsets can show them the route to the emergency location. And this, of course, will make sure that they reach on time and they can have preventive actions in case of any natural emergencies.
I have to interrupt there, Mr. Waleed. Yes, we've exceeded by about 2 minutes. So yes, maybe a quick minute or so to wrap up.
All right. So we will see new public transformation. Of course, a government is responsible of building smart cities. So in the future, we might see something like how do we interact with our transportation and mobility. So in the future, we see more kind of like remote bus and train drivers. They are in a control room, and they are mobilizing people from point A to point B. One area also quickly is the culture and heritage and tourism. So in any country, actually having attraction or attracting foreign investment is very important. So one way to do that is to show your heritage and show your culture, and tourism is a sector where we also have a very important contribution to the economy. So using this technology will help us, of course, having a very excited visit from visitors from outside, because since they reach the airport, then they can use this technology, or they can use their mobile phone to have augmented reality explanation about important places or buildings or historical event that happened in different languages or their own language. So this will become like very interesting for visitors coming from outside the country. And by that, I will just conclude my presentation. I'd like to thank you very much, and if you have any questions.
Thanks, Waleed. We appreciate your support towards the Qatar XR Tech Summit. And we truly are grateful that you have joined us today to share your impeccable knowledge on emerging tech and innovation. And have a nice day ahead.